What up? It's your boy Bodyguard back again for another post, y'all. Today, I have been given a little bit of a treat, alright? I've been joined once again by my good friend, Kristyn Ruth, right? She's back in the house again, alright? But today, she's got a special treat for all of us, right? She brought a guy by the name of Mattox, right? Now, for those of you who don't know, this guy is I guess he's a past serving officer, so he's done his thing when it comes to the military by way of 13 years, right? He's also in the game of helping you build your businesses, right? So he has this deal that he has going called a fractional COO, right? We're going to kick him to rock and let him tell us a little about what it means to be a good fractional COO. All right, coming back to the stage, I got my friend, Miss Kristyn Ruth.
Hello, everybody. So first of all, again, thank you, Charles. I don't know, we started the same, like, first of all, I don't know, Charles, I just really appreciate you. Like, you just set the stage so well. Your facility is so amazing. And thank you so much for always welcoming us and being patient with me. I'm sorry I was late today a little bit, but just thank you so much for everything that you provide, what you do. All glory to God. Like, we usually pray in before we even start, and we didn't do that today. But Holy Spirit, I ask you to enter the room right now. Be with us. Let everything that we say come from you and out of us, and give the correct message today. I just have to say, like, the Lord
Amen.
Amen. The Lord is always bringing people to me, because I've been praying for the last 6-7 years. Lord, bring me your people and I will do my best. All I can do is my best. That's it. Like, nothing more, nothing less. Well, one day I'm sitting in my office and my phone rings and I answer it, and it's this lady named Janice. Hello, Janice Albakai, if you're watching today. So Janice calls me and she's like, hey, I'm sitting in this Starbucks. I'm looking up. I see Universal Wealth. What's Universal Wealth? And I'm like, we're an insurance agency. Did you need help with, maybe shopping your insurance around? And she's like, no. She said, what I really do is network. Come down to my office and I want to meet you in person and let's talk. I'm like, yes, ma'am. I love orders. Give me some orders. I just was like, okay, cool. That sounds good. And her office is like 5 minutes down the street. So I go over there one day and I thought me and her meet one-on-one. This lady is such a networker. I get there and there's like 3 other people there. She's like, let me introduce you guys to each other. I'm like, okay. So I met Gregory. Hello, Gregory Rutledge, and his beautiful wife, Tiffany. And then he invited a friend named Colo. So Colo's there, and I meet Colo for the first time. Shout out Colo. He is so awesome. And so Colo introduces me to Mr. Sam Mattox. Me and Mr. Sam Mattox have had several business appointments, and I've been very blessed to just, again, an answered prayer, asking God, Lord, send me your people. I'll do my best. Enter Sam Mattox. And so we have one appointment, leads to a few, and we've been talking business, and I'm just so grateful for his time and honored. Again, military background, and I am very grateful for his service and what he's done. But I would love to just pass the floor to Mr. Sam. Tell us all about fractional COOs. I mean, just learning about it, I'm like, yes, I need that today, please. Help me. So, but tell the audience, because I had to ask, like, what is a fractional COO?
Okay, so it's funny because everybody asks the same question, what is a fractional COO? So I'll explain it like we were talking about earlier. Running your business is a lot like planning a trip, where you're going to go. So in order for you to go on that trip, you have to know 3 things. 1, where are we going? How are we going to get there? And 3, for a lot of people, the most important is how much is it going to cost, or how will we pay for it? So those 3 things are the same 3 pillars that are required for you running your business. So the where are we going, that's the CEO, that's the executive function. They're the ones that make all of the decisions, right? The how are we going to get there, that's the COO. That's the one that does all of the operations. They know how the sausage is made, basically. And then how are we going to pay for it? That's the CFO. That's your finance. They are important to most people. Most people put too much credence into the CFO. But we do the fractional COO because you need someone to come in and say, okay, you are spending way too much time on the operations side, because operations is very important, but it's not a revenue driver, right? If your operations suck, you'll still make money. But if your operations are great, it's a revenue multiplier. because then that means you can only focus on what you need to do in order to drive that revenue, which 3, 4, 5x is what your revenue is. And that's what we've seen with our clients, is they're completely out of the ops game. They're focused on how to make the money. And we found that that's the best way to help businesses.
Hands down, literally. Like, I mean, in my business, like, I'm the dreamer, right? I'm usually the CEO, the president. I'm like, let's go there. And I'm like, it's like 20 years away, but I'm like, let's just run as fast as we can. And then I'm so grateful because I got people around me that sort of function to this. And they're like, hold on, Kristyn, let's talk about the numbers. Like, and I'm like, okay, let's talk about the numbers. And I do love numbers.
Numbers are very important.
They are very important. They don't lie, right? They do the math, just like you said.
The numbers don't lie, but they can mislead.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's why you have to know not only what your numbers say, but you have to actually look at what the story is. Because the story may not be what you think it is.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
So think about it this way. You can be running your business and you're like, oh, everything is going great. Last year I made $1.1 million. I'll tell you, I won't tell you the names of these people, but I will tell you a story. They came to me and they said, our business is awesome. We made $1.1 million. Life is good. I have this and this and this and this. Like, okay, well, let's look at your books. We looked at the books and we're like, well, that doesn't, yeah, you made 1.1. Okay, that's great. How much did you spend? That's the question. How much did you spend? Because when we're looking at your account and it's showing, a balance of 0, but you have credit debt that is like $500,000, that means you made 1.1, but you spent 1.6. So yeah, business is great, but because your operations are not actually doing what they're supposed to, it's not aligned with what the business is, you lost money that year. And so that's the reason why your numbers, they are important, but you can't put credence solely on the numbers.
Yeah, and I laugh because if you know me, like me and business partners, we own a car dealership. And in the car dealership, my good friend Vanessa, shout out Vanessa, she does taxes. We had her look at it. She's like, oh, so this is more just like a hobby for you guys. She's like, I mean, it's just like a wash, really. Like, I'm like, yeah, like kind of, we're having a lot of fun. Like, so anyways, it is important, and I understand the importance. Like, okay, are we just having fun, or are we trying to make money?
Exactly,
right? Like,
exactly. You have to balance it. Yeah, that's what it is.
Right. Yeah, in the mixed martial arts cage, balance is impeccable for me, right? In the business world, I mean, I tend to fall into those traps of, oh, no shiny butterfly, so you just start throwing money into the hole, and then, next thing you know, you're like, oh man, I forgot I had to pay rent now.
like, wow, it's been 8 years and have nothing. Like, I feel like I should have more than this.
Well, I think we have to quantify what nothing is.
Right, true. Very true. Experience counts too.
Right. Even though the bank account might say a couple thousand, you walk into the business space, that bad boy says multi-million dollar, right? So, I think you have to quantify what nothing is when it comes to that, because some people put value in different things.
It's very true, and I oftentimes am told I'm too hard on myself. Like okay, what you said, quantifying with nothing. I love that. I like that.
And it depends on the business too, because if you look at businesses like Amazon, for 10 years, Amazon made absolutely no money. But they didn't make money on purpose. Yeah. And so you can have fun, but you could be investing in the business, doing all of the infrastructure that you need. So yeah, you can do both.
I like that, because it's like, I do feel like my infrastructure is so solid, like let it rain. And it takes time to do that.
It does.
Yes.
It does. Yeah. It's not overnight. No matter what we want to say. A lot of times we look at these people who are so successful. I call it the Bieberization of America. Right? A lot of people look at Justin Bieber and they're like, oh, look, he did a video and now he has this contract to do music and he's this star. What people don't look at is all of the videos that he did before that one video hit.
Right.
I mean, he was on there every single day. I'm not a Justin Bieber fan. I just love the story.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't look at the work that goes underneath that you're not noticing.
So true. So true.
Right.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of times where it has to be you alone working on the vision, right? Like, again, like we see ourselves 20 years, 30 years, 40 years in end result, and we're trying to like kind of work backwards to see like how we can get there. But I mean, that takes time with you by yourself planning that.
So how do you keep that vision in your head as you're working towards it?
Honestly, it's been very hard for me personally because I still don't know. Like, I can't say like without a shadow of a doubt, like, this is the way I want it in my life. I can't. I don't know. Like, I do leave a lot to fate and God personally, but I do know people that have written their own obituaries. We actually talked about that on one of our...
Oh, you're going to talk about it, aren't you? Yeah, go ahead.
Are you good with that?
Yeah, I'm good. Go ahead.
I that conversation told me, like, you are not doing enough, Kristyn. I need to get on that level.
See, okay, let me tell everybody a little bit behind that because they won't understand. So I am not a normal person, and I'm good with that. Like, I understand. I'm not normal. I'm not normal to the point where not only have I written my obituary, but I've actually planned out what my funeral will look like. And I guess we'll share this with everyone. Here's a little secret. When I die, there will be one person sitting at the desk, 2 bodyguards, one on either side. There will be a sign-in book. When they walk up to the bodyguard, or to the desk, and they give them their name, and they're like, oh, let me look you up because you were invited. They will go to one of 2 bodyguards. If it's someone that I loved and they were great and they honored me while I was alive, then they get to go inside and enjoy the funeral, or the party as I like to call it. But if it was someone who has done me wrong, then they get a letter that tells them what they've done wrong, why they're not allowed in, and they're escorted out. And then 2 days later, I've already set this up so that it goes to the Washington Post and the New York Times. There will be a full-page letter that is put out for all of the people who have done me wrong and why they have done me wrong and how they should be shunned by society.
I feel like right now you should put like a 50 Cent face over it. Level of Teddy.
I'm like, man, I don't know if 50 Cent gonna be that bad. So that's like, geez.
When he told me this, I'm like, I better straighten up in his life.
It's updated every quarter, so...
I know, I was like, how is he updating this? I literally thought that.
Every quarter it gets updated, so you need to stay on your P's and Q's.
Yes, if you enter his life and you would like to be respected. That is awesome.
Jeez.
That is awesome.
Man, that I might have to take that and throw that in my playbook. You know what I'm saying? I have to go ahead and write me a couple letters right now.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But see, me, I think I'm a bit more, I guess I would have to say, confrontational, right? And that word, of course, gets a negative connotation to it, right? But being confrontational only means that I like to solve things right then, right? I don't want to sit on it. I don't want to waste time on it, and and that's outside of my relationship, right? Like in my relationship, I know I'm a bit harsh, right? My words, the way I, talk to people, sometimes they feel rubbed the wrong way, but it's not me being mean, or it's not me saying that I don't like you. It's just me being direct, right? I would rather spend less time explaining and just go ahead and give it to you direct, right? I think that's the easiest way to go about things. But yeah, so I don't think I'll be able to write those letters.
Well, see, but don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not nice to them while I'm alive. I will tell you the truth. I'll tell you up front, like, I don't like
Real
you.
time.
This is the reason why I don't like you. This is what you're doing wrong. You either straighten up or, be gone.
Right.
But I like to memorialize it because once I say it, it's out of my mind. It's out of my life. I don't care.
I agree with that.
Right.
And it's not that they're not important to me. It's just that I have very limited space in my brain for bad things.
I want to say, I agree with both of you, honestly. But I have to say, too, there are relationships, and I think this is why you've done that, because there are relationships that, what are you going to do? Just get rid of them? Your mom? Sorry, mom, I'm not talking to you ever again. I mean, you could. And to be honest, I know people that have, in the decades of the life that, your mother or father or whoever have done that for periods of time. But maybe they don't want to, or a spouse, maybe you just, you know what I'm saying? Like, there are certain relationships, you're not always just, you're just like, whatever. Like, you're just, this is your role in my life. I love you, I respect you, and I honor you. And, you know, you're not going to just kick them out because you don't like their...
See, I would say you still kick them out. I mean, you are the sum of every relationship you have. And if you keep bad people around you, how are you going to be good?
This is true.
Well, of course
I'm going to have to agree with you.
Of course this is true.
I'm going to have to agree. Yeah, because I've dealt with some situations in my life that I probably just would not have had to go through if I had to just, what do the kids say these days? Stood on business. If I had to just stood on business and said, hey, you decided to leave, get your ass out. Go over there. Leave me alone. Right? I probably would have been better off.
It's a hard thing to do. It is a hard thing to realize.
Especially if you care about them.
Well, the reality is you are the most important person in your life. Like, I will sit there and people laugh at me, but I talk to myself a lot, and why wouldn't I? I'm wonderful. I'm my best friend. I'm the person who knows the most about me. Sure. But if I have people who I can't say that about, and I'm talking to them and I'm spending time with them, that's not fair to me. But more importantly, it's not fair to them because they think that what they're doing is right. And they will keep acting how people are like animals. This is why I don't like animals. People are like animals. The more you reinforce a bad behavior, they will continue to do it. I have a cat that I can't stand that will come in and will just meow, 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 meow. And I've gotten her to the point where she understands when it's time to eat, you eat. But I don't need to hear you whining. I don't need to hear begging. You've never been hungry your whole life. But there are people who are like that. They will come in and they will drag you down. And they do it on purpose because they feel better.
You know what? I talk to my girlfriend or my fiance often. Sometimes she'll say stuff and I have a tough time determining whether or not she's serious or not, right? And it's not because she's just like a playful type of person like that. Like, no, it's just, for one, I know she's an actress, right? So she has the ability to fool me at any given moment, right? She just goes into one of those episodes and now I'm in the loop, right? But I talked to her about people just fucking with people. And last night she pulled me off to the side and she said, hey, I'm never just doing that. Like, I know there are those type of people out there, like they wake up in the morning, and I think that's what you're talking about. Like those type of people, that they're just here to mess with you. Like, it doesn't matter what's going on. They just, I need to bother somebody right now. Like, it, you know, so it's like, I hate those type of people.
That is true. And it's like, I feel like I've probably been in some relationships where like I kind of caved and gave into that. Like, and you know, I love this conversation because y'all are men and I'm a woman, right? So it's different. So like I've caved to that, like, because I don't know, I guess that, the hearing y'all say it like that, it's like knowing that, hey, this is just how this person is. Why are you hurting yourself and feeling any kind of way when they're just fucking with you?
Right. It's like,
and you know this.
I didn't have anything else better to do. Like,
we just go stir the pot over there. Like,
well, you know, we are geared to try to help others. Like, that's what we're put here for.
Right.
But I think it ends at trying to fix others. And a lot of times we get that confused and conflated with what being good with someone is. And so that's the reason why I'm real quick to cut people off. Like, I give you literally get one shot, you know, and if you just show you're behind all day long, I've got no reason to spend time with you.
I see how you are.
Yeah. I'm not going to fix you. I've been where those relationships are like, oh, I can make them better. I can fix them. No, you can't fix them. That's not your job. Right. There's only one person who can do that. That's God. If Jesus didn't come down and touch them and make them better, it's not happening.
You're right.
Right.
I agree with you.
You know, I often have this conversation with people, right? When we get to topics like this, right? I got this friend of mine, and he told us, and we're in college, by the way, right? So we're broke. Everybody's broke. He's the only one with a car, right? He's working a job, right? So, you know, it sucked, right? But he used to always tell us that, hey, man, if you don't have a use, you're useless, right? You know, and I think that was his way of saying that, bro, if you don't fix yourself, then we don't stay afloat, because I don't have time to help fix you. I'm over here keeping myself intact.
True.
Wow, that's a good friend.
Right. Great friend.
That's a good friend, because most people will say, you know what, I'm taking care of me. I'm not here to drag you forward, but you're just trying to drag me down.
Right.
Like, that would be what they say, but he's actually trying to lift you up, and that's not normal. I mean, I hope they're still a friend.
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah. Once you find, that's how me and Kristyn really met. Was I sat down with her the first time, and I was like, okay, so tell me about you. What do you do? And then she told me. I said, okay, so tell me who you are. And then she told me who she was. I said, no, tell me who you really are. Because, whenever I sit down, I'm like, I don't need all of the play. I need to know who you are, because if I'm going to spend time with you, I need to know the real version behind you. And I collect quality human beings. There just aren't very many of them. And so that's why you and I spend so much time together, because you are one of the few quality individuals that I've come across over the past decade.
And I appreciate that, and I'm very grateful for that. And to be honest with you, at this point in time, I would just like to say, I know.
No, for real.
But thank you. No, I never, I am such a humble person, but Dr. Sky, who was on here with me last time, she has played such a big role in, girls, just know. And so, and truly, it's and that's the confidence that got you here. That's the confidence that got the mayor of DeSoto sending me a text message the other day. I'm just looking at my phone. I'm like, wow, a mayor is really texting me right now. That's not on accident. That's not, this is me being intentional the last 8 years of my life. Not that they were perfect, but always looking to grow and go forward. And so I really appreciate you seeing that in me, honestly. We didn't know each other from Adam. Literally met at Lone Star Cafe in Arlington, plug. Met at Lone Star Cafe, had brunch, and you just listened and you asked questions. And in my life, I'm always going all the time and working. I don't get a lot of people that are doing that, and you guys know what I mean, right? It's there's not people really checking in. How are you doing today?
Right.
Are you okay? Is there anything I can do for you? And that's every time I meet with you. And I told Dr. Sky this at the end of our meeting. You always say, "Is there anything I can do for you?" And that's just being of service. And it's it doesn't matter what your job is, what all this is. Sometimes I'm I don't know what any of this is. At the end of the day, though, I know cavemen were living and thriving and being of service to each other at a very basic level, and we can still do that. So anyways, thank you so much. I'm sorry, that was the point. Thank you. I appreciate you seeing it in me. I appreciate the meetings we have had, and I really look forward to the future and how everything's going to play out, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the future's bright. That's
Hopefully
one thing I
I'm
can say.
at your funeral in the good section.
1 quarter at a time. 1 quarter at a time.
No, for real. I don't want to get one of them letters. I was like, come on. Man.
I'm like, Charles, I'm going to go first. I'll let you know what happens.
Oh, man. Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so what is your target for, when you decide to apply your services to somebody, how do you go about doing that? Because I wouldn't even know where to start when it comes for a situation like that. How do you find these businesses that need a mechanic like you? Because I'm just going to call you the business mechanic, right? Because that's what you do. We come in, we're going to fix your stuff, right? How do you find those?
So it's really funny. Here's the thing. Before I ran YSCO in this iteration, we did this same service for Fortune 500 companies. And so learned a lot from them, talked to them, really went deep on what it is that they were doing, looked at what consulting firms were doing, and consulting firms suck. They just do, because they don't do anything other than give you a binder and then walk out, or they'll do a PowerPoint presentation. And when I sat down and started looking at what do businesses need, that's where we were looking at, well, no one's doing operations. Like, it's just not happening. People do it, but they're not really walking with the client. We, and you saw this when you were trying to look us up. Like, we have no media footprint. We have no social footprint. Very rare will you find anything. You'll see me post something, but every day I post a prayer. That's pretty much all I post. We don't post things. Every single client that we've had has been a referral. It's been from either a current client or from a friend. And so when we go and talk to them, because everybody knows one thing, I will be real quick to tell you we are not a good fit. Because if you are someone who does not want to do the work, if you're not someone who actually wants to change, we're not going to do it, because we live and die off of our reputation and we're outcome focused. So we'll sit down. First step is always a 90-minute interview. Tell me everything about you, because I need to know you before I know the business. And we don't just fix the business, we fix the person. Because if your business is running great, but home sucks, your business is not running great. And so I have a background in behavioral psychology. So all of that goes together. We don't just try to say, oh, well, these are the things that need to make your business run. If you go home and your wife, here's the big thing. If you want to know who needs our help, if you talk to a business owner and they're like, my son wants me to go to his baseball game, but he knows I'm not going to show up, then you need us. Those are the ones that need us the most. But it's just really just sitting down and talking with people.
Right. So, Kristyn, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, I mean, that sounds just like basically any industry then. Mm-hmm. I mean, any industry, any business, any... so my brother, since I was a kid, he's a mechanic, and like a literal mechanic, works on cars. He used to take my bike apart. And so we were in the car dealership, and so he was working on the cars and stuff. And one thing I realized, though, was like he's great at mechanics, but he's not a business person. Like I like, and not just him, but there's a lot of people like that, right? Mm-hmm. Like they're good at their skill and their craft, but they're not business people. And so it sounds like if that's you, if you love your skill, you love your craft, and you know how to make money doing it, you would need somebody like you to step in, right? Yeah,
because most business owners only started a business because they're good at something. They didn't go to school to get an MBA. They don't know what it means. They're around passion. Oh, yeah, yeah. And passion means you're working 40, you're not working 40 hours a week. You're not working 50 hours a week. You're working 60, 70, 80.
Overnight at the dealership.
Yeah, see, that's just nuts.
It is. Yeah. I realize that.
That is nuts.
I realized that. I mean, I've realized that for years, but there was a point very early on in my solopreneur when I start. I think most people start as a solopreneur, and you're just like building with passion and like, I'm going to make this work. And it's like, you're just blind faith. And I think it gets a lot of people to the point, but then you do it long enough and you're consistent long enough in doing it. And then some people get to the point, and I'm blessed and grateful because God was always at the center of everything I did, that I did get to the point where I realized, like, you see the bigger picture and the bigger picture and the bigger picture, and then now it's like over the world. It's like, okay. It's so much more than just the driving passion.
Oh, yeah. Look, I will say the reason why that happens is because a lot of them do it wrong. The best way to build a business is not to self-fund. Like, that is the hardest way, and it's not the most scalable way to build it. You need to put yourself in a position to get funding, whether it be an angel investor, maybe it be an SBA. The interest rates are so low on SBA loans, it makes no sense not to do it. And that is how you get yourself out of staying overnight. That's how you get yourself out of working 60, 70 hours a week, because then you bring in help. Then you're actually able to scale. Then you're able to do things like this, where you can sit down and talk to people and get your message out.
Right. And see, like, because we all hear all these, like for me, that stuff you talking about, these SBA loans, these angel investors, like all that stuff, that's unicorn stuff to me. Like, it's over there in the magical land of what if for me, right? Because I have not come across anybody that valued me or what I was trying to do enough to even teach it to me. Like I say, that's not something that you can't take a class on that. Like, you have to find that once you get outside, right? And I just have never come across that. Like, I've never seen that. I've survived so long just on doing good business. right? And doing good business and being willing to make the sacrifice to make the investment, right? Now I'm able to employ people, right? Now I'm able to help other people, right? But before, when I was first starting out, it was not like that. I too was sleeping on this very couch, right here that I'm sitting on right now, right? Inside my studio space out in Dallas.
See, and that's where I want to help short circuit the path for people. Because unfortunately, the way that our education system works, we are not gearing entrepreneurs. We're forcing people to become entrepreneurs, but we're not teaching them what they have to know. And there's a ton of money out there for people who want to get funding. The SBA loans, like I'll give you a quick hint. So if you are a former military member like myself, they will help guarantee a $100,000 loan at 5% interest, which is nuts. It's really, really low. And if you live in certain areas, you can actually get that at 0%. All right. So this is information that you need to talk to people about, to learn about, but it's there. And if you want to have a successful business and not just an expensive hobby or not a high-paying job, which is what a lot of business owners have, because here's the truth: if you go on vacation, you're not making money. You don't have a business. You got a job, right? And the goal is to turn it into a business. And the only way to do that quickly is to not fund it yourself, but people like you, they have all of the core skills in order to run a business because they know, okay, I can live lean, I can do this, I can do that. But they would be such great stewards of funding if they actually got it.
That is beautiful. And thank you for sharing that. I mean, just because we're going to post this and people are going to see this, and that's so valuable. It's valuable for me. And I appreciate you sharing that information. Like, it's just not readily shareable, right? And
right. It's like I say, it's one of those things that's like, for me, I looked at it almost like elite level knowledge, right? It's a certain tier group that you have to run into or be affiliated with before you can even find out about these things, right? This is not common knowledge, right? And from what I'm hearing, it sounds like this system has been built up to be a common situation, right? Like, we talk about all the funds that are going unspent in America all the time, all the money that is being set aside for specific situations and resources, right? And it's just not being used because people don't know about it, right? And then I have to wonder, who stands to gain benefit from people not knowing about it? If it's there to help people, right? Who stands to gain a benefit from people not knowing?
Oh, I could go so deep on that. I really could. I could tell you so much. I will say this. The primary reason why we are not set up to be an entrepreneurial society is because if you look at the Fortune 5 companies that are listed and what their market cap is and how much money they're bringing in, and then look at the fact that 2/3 of all businesses have under 100 employees, but they're not bringing in anywhere near that amount of revenue. That's who stands to benefit. It's the big businesses that are holding on to market share. They're making sure that the only people who know are the people who just happen to come across somebody, or they might be in a lunch and learn, but they don't want to make sure that that's common knowledge.
I love going deep. I'm like, and sometimes it's like, I'll just be honest with you, like, I think about it as I'm just growing in life. Like, sometimes it's like, how deep do you want to go? Because it's like, I don't know, at some point. Like,
well, I think it's all about going as deep as you can, though.
Go ahead.
Right?
I'm sorry.
Well, no, I would say I think it's going as deep as you can, because I think it's also part of what we're just talking about. You know, your authenticity is required. I used to be one of those who was a little apprehensive about just being honest, like about my political views and about everything that I know, because I was like, well, you know, I was the Michael Jordan of tennis shoes. Republicans buy shoes too, right? But then I realized there are just some people I don't want to deal with. So if you know where I stand and what I believe and what I know, and you don't want to work with me, that's good. That means I don't have to talk to you. But the fact that people don't understand just how much the scale is weighted towards big business is the reason why they don't know what's available to them. There are billions of dollars that are set aside every single year for small businesses. If you wanted to get a $40,000 loan, it takes 2 weeks. 2 weeks to fund a $40,000 loan. I mean, it's incredible, but people don't know.
That is incredible. I have to talk to you more about that.
Yeah, Mr. Sam, you got to drop me a business card before you walk up out of here. I'm telling you right now. You can like, yeah, because it sounds like you've got the tools and abilities to really grow some people. They just have to take the time to listen, right? And I'm sitting here listening, and I'm working, but I'm also listening. You know, it's sounds like you got a lot up there behind those eyes.
I've been doing this since 2003. So even when I was in the military, I had already started this, which is the reason why I know so much. I've seen this at a scale that most don't. And I've been fortunate enough. Fortunate is probably the wrong word. I put myself in a position to where I've been able to leverage my skills and actually sell 3 businesses and have multi-million-dollar exits.
Yes, and I apologize. I meant to bring that up before, but I'm glad you did. I mean, I just feel so blessed to be, like, you've done things, and that's a whole part of the message, right? Like getting in front of people that have done things that you want to do that you haven't done yet. Because how are you going to do them if you're not surrounding yourself with the right people? So, I mean, if you don't mind, maybe elaborating a little bit about like just, you know, I'm sure selling your first business versus selling your third business was a different process, right? Like,
and before you answer that, let me let's switch over to right quick a quick message from the sponsor, right? When it comes to this type of thing, people, you might want to take the time to listen to people who've done it, right? I've always said to anybody who's ever willing to listen to me that if you want to be good at somebody, listen to somebody who's done it, right? But it goes deeper than that. Don't just look at the way they've done it, right? Look at the results. And with that, I pass it back over to you, good sir.
Okay, so I'll just tell you about the first business that I sold because it was completely different than the third. By the third, I knew what I was doing. The first, I had no clue. The first was 3AM Enterprises. We were a business that was retrofitting school districts throughout the Southeast with all of their tech. We're fortunate. Everything is about timing. It was when they were switching over from Windows NT to XP, and every single school district had to change out all of their IT infrastructure, so it was perfect. We were building it out. I thought, I am a business mogul. I know everything. And we had built this up to about 230 employees. And I was approached by a consortium. They came up to me, and I was in Houston at the time, and they said, we would like to buy your business. I'm like, well, it's not for sale. They said, well, can we at least just sit down for dinner so that I can tell everyone that I at least spoke with you? It's like, yeah, that's fine. So we went to dinner. It was a Saturday night, I remember. Took me to a steakhouse in Houston. It was a great meal. I mean, I had a steak that was, I think it was $200. It was just ridiculous. And I ordered 2 bottles of really, really good wine. I don't drink, but I figure if you are going to wine and dine me, you will literally wine and dine me. So I emptied out bottles onto the cups, and I'm sitting there, I'm having my water. He's like, do you want it? I was like, no, I wanted to make sure that you took care of me. So we sit there, and he's like, okay, well, let me go ahead and give you the offer. I was like, okay, well, so he's like, so he did just like you see it in the movies. Wrote down the number, got the napkin, folded it, slid it across the table. I was like, I don't really want to sell. I like what I'm doing. And he's like, well, just look. So I opened up, I looked at the numbers, and I was like, there are more zeros here than I think. did you write this correctly? Yeah, I did. Okay, so I can be out on Monday, if that's okay with you. And so that was actually my first sell, and I actually took less money because I wanted to make sure that we had exit requirements and clauses for my employees. I wanted them to be taken care of for at least a year. And funny enough, that business ended up, after I left, that business ended up becoming part of another Fortune 5 company, and they shuttered the division 2 years later. So they spent just a ridiculous amount of money on a division that they could not keep going.
Wow. Sounds like they should have been thinking merger.
Well, we were small potatoes compared to what they were doing, and so it made sense for them to buy us.
Right. But at the same time, it's like sometimes it's like I have to be willing to know that there are, people who probably are greater at doing what I am doing, but I can't necessarily say that somebody would be ready to come run Bodyguard TV.
Sure.
Right? Because there's a level of connection with those clients that already deal with me. There's a level of the way that we operate, the way that we do things, right? That is very, very important, right? So I think that sometimes, because when I look at stuff like that, I instantly think that it's more of a removing the competition type situation, right?
Ultimately, I'll be honest with you, I think it was that. When I exited, I decided, I knew everything about business. I know how to run a business, start a business, do all of the things, and so I then, right immediately after that, founded 3 new businesses and spent millions of dollars on businesses that were stupid. I tried to make Netflix before Netflix was Netflix, and that was very expensive, and that floundered and didn't work. I did that for 4 businesses, and then I finally hit on another one. It's all of those misses, because you truly learn more from your failure than you'll ever learn from your wins. And so I agree with you. I think that sometimes that's what they're trying to do, is to say, oh, I just want to take you out so that you can't compete with me. But sometimes there's actually a synergy with the company that it works. It's rare, but sometimes it happens.
That's so awesome. I love that. I don't know. This popped in my head, so I'm just going to ask you. So have you ever dealt with, in business, I'm sure you've taken on partners, right? Or have you, besides selling businesses, ever taken on, maybe a partner where you're operating together?
No, I don't like people that much. So no, I've never had a partner. I've had people who have done roles within a business, but I don't believe in partnerships for me. Mainly because I know how I do things, and I know that I am very specific, and most people don't operate at that level.
I love that. Thank you for answering that for me. And it's just different perspective. I always like to say there's not necessarily right, wrong, right? Because there might be very successful people that they are in partnership. So, but I appreciate your insight on that. It's something that I've tried to navigate. I love people, so I've taken on lots of partnerships and different things that I've done. But I do question it sometimes and wonder if I don't know if.
Well, so don't get me wrong. I don't take on partners because I know how difficult I am to work with.
I relate.
Right. But the reality is you cannot run a business by yourself.
I know, right?
And that's because, remember, we were talking about the three different thoughts of business. That's literally 3 different people. Most people cannot have those 3 different streams of thought held in their head at any given time. So you can normally go down one path, and then you have to, okay, hold on, let me go down the next path. And then you're like, oh, hold on, let me go down the next path. That's the reason why you have to have other people around you.
Yeah, it goes back to people, reeling you down with the COO.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Love it. Full circle.
Yeah. Everything works out.
Yeah.
Sometimes, this conversation right here has got me thinking about, it's got me, really reevaluating myself, right? I wonder, wonder if am a help to those that I'm dealing with, because I know what I'm capable of and I know what I've done so far, but am I really helping?
Have you had the conversation with them?
With them? No, I've never asked.
So like, and she knows this because she actually said it. So every time I end a conversation with someone that I actually like, I will ask them, how can I be a blessing to you? And then I will ask later on, typically like 6 months later, like, have I been a blessing? Because if I haven't been a blessing, if I haven't helped you, then what do I need to do to be better? Because I value you as a person and I value your opinion. And sometimes we don't want to know the answer. I know sometimes I don't. But I'd rather have the hard conversation than believe that I'm doing all that I'm capable of.
That's interesting. That's like the extra mile. You know what I'm saying, to customer service. Like that's like expert level customer service. This is customer service extreme.
I feel like you can do that when you're the operator. Like, and again, back to Dr. Sky's. I say I put my stamp on something that I back up and guarantee. And it's sort of like the same thing, right? Like, is there, like, this is what I do. Am I being a blessing? How can I be more of a blessing?
So there are 4 pillars to everything that I do, and this is what's intertwined in every business I run. So the first one is help others. Like, if you are not being a blessing to people, then why do you exist? The second one is keep your word. If you say you're going to do something, then do it. The third is help others keep your word, better yourself. Like, you have to constantly be learning, because if you stay stagnant where you are, you're never going to go anywhere. And then the last one, and this is the one that I think ties everything together, is strive to be the best version of yourself every single day. And that requires you to check in with not only the people around you, the people that you interacted with, but it requires you to check in with yourself and actually stand in front of the mirror and tell the truth, right? Because too often we look in the mirror and we see someone who's not there. We see the version of ourselves that we would like it to be, not the version of ourselves it is. And so the funny thing about those 4 pillars, that's the only way you can get fired with any business that I run, if you break a pillar.
Wow.
Like, you could literally drive down the road with a DUI, get drunk, go to prison. If you've not broken one of those pillars, I'll welcome you back with open arms.
Wow.
Right. I talk a lot about my code too. I have a code. I call them my 5 tenets. Right. And to you, there probably might be, a bit menial, but I don't know. I just have to try them on and let you see.
No, it's not me. No, it's yours, right?
That's right.
It's yours.
Okay, so I start out with tenet number 1 would be, if it hurts the cash flow, it's a no-go.
Okay.
Right.
I like that.
So yeah, if it's gonna take money out of your pocket, her pocket, anybody's pocket that we know, we're not doing it.
Okay.
Right. I can't stand to eat off other people's downfall. Okay. Right. Tenet number 2, I like to keep my business and my personal very separate. Even my fiance, who does work with me on a lot of the sets that I go to, she knows that when she takes off the wife hat and puts on whatever position hat that she's in, I'm speaking to her as if she's in that position, not at home. Right? Okay. So we got to keep the business and the personal separate. If at any given time somebody doesn't understand that, like, I don't need to know what your wife's brother's sister's uncle's mother's cousin thinks about a deal we're getting ready to make, right? If you needed that type of consultation, then that's one that you took on your own, right? It's not for me, right? Tenet number 3, I don't speak ill of anybody in my circle. If I've made your acquaintance, right, nobody will be able to come to you and say, I said anything negative about you behind your back, right? And I stand so firmly on that, I preference that statement with, fight, go with that. I'm literally willing to fight over my name, right? I'm not gonna let anybody do that to me, right? Tenet number 4, control the flow of information. We like to make sure that we keep everybody's intellectual property in a central point, right? The more that you can control on the outturn, the better you will be when things come back around. Right? That's how people go to jail, right? Especially in corporate America. Like the one question that they use to prove intent is who knew what and when.
Exactly.
Right.
It's the cover-up.
Yeah.
So control the flow of information, lessen your chances of going to jail. Now, I'm not saying do anything illegal.
Right.
What I'm saying is that hold your information near and dear to your own heart, right? Play it close to the chest, right? And to the number 5, do not fail your circle, right? We all have a core group of friends, right? That we look to, we talk to, we go to. We are all a part of a group of friends, right? At the end of the day, if you fall and you need somebody to help you, don't be a failure to whoever it is that could possibly use a hand. Because when you fall, you're going to be expecting the same thing. So you have to be the change that you want to see. Now, have I gotten burned with that? Yes. Right? But at the end of the day, it's more of a testament to who I am as a person.
Sure.
Right? So, not going to leave anybody out in the cold. And I'm pretty sure you're familiar with my father was Army, right? So I'm pretty sure you're familiar with the no man left behind, right?
Yes,
so,
sir.
yeah. We're not leaving anybody behind if we can avoid it. Now, if we tell him not to go into the minefield and he, blows off one of his legs, like, bro.
Sounds like a choice.
Right.
Right.
God bless that man.
So those are my 5. Those are the ones that are very important to me.
I like them. The one thing I'd ask is how many chances does someone get
How many chances does someone get?
to break them?
1.
Okay.
You got 1. You break one of those 5, that's it. That's all.
So
we don't have to talk about it. We don't have to, none of that. You don't have to worry about me coming over the top and talking crazy about you. None of that.
We're moving
I
on.
just stop dealing with you and move on.
And the beauty in having a code is it's like figuring out what you're going to wear. You don't have to.
Right.
You don't have to think about it. Everybody knows where they stand.
Right.
We know what I did wrong. I don't need to say anything. Yeah,
Right.
the code speaks for itself.
Yes.
I like that.
True.
Everybody should have a code. It's very annoying when people don't because they're wishy-washy.
Yeah.
Right. They just,
You have
yeah.
And I think I probably call them boundaries. Like this, I'm inside this box. Don't push this. Don't push this. Don't push this. Don't push that.
Right. But, but like the reason why I'm able to act in that manner is the fact that I make it known, right? It's very tough to deal with a person if you don't know how. Like, Mr. Sam, when you were born, did they issue your parents a manual?
No, I wish they did.
And you probably came with one knowing you.
So that's the reason why I have that code, right? It's because when I was younger, I was running into situations where I'm dealing with people, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go wild, right? But my older brother used to tell me, sometimes you gotta let people make it. Now, I'm not a proponent of letting people make it. I don't like to let people make it, right? So I would rather inform people on which things not to do, right? So that they know what to do, right? Now, some people like to tell people what to do, right? But if you're not clear in your instruction, then you give people leniency.
Yeah.
Like they think that, okay, well, is a variation of that okay?
And then over time, people think it might not even matter to you.
Right.
Right, because we can't read each other's minds. Well,
Right.
sometimes maybe, but like mostly, right? People can't read your mind, so it's like if you're not firm, then over time, a person will be like, well, I just don't even care anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't, and that's when you start, like, nobody says to me, well, I didn't think it mattered. I'm past that stage.
You know it mattered.
I'm past that stage.
Subsection 3, clause 4. Yeah. Yeah.
Turn to page 46
Exactly.
in the manual.
Everybody,
This is right
everybody
here.
should know how to interact with you, and if they don't, then that's your fault.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like that for every situation. One of the things that I believe to my core is that no matter what happens to me, good, bad, or indifferent, I can't blame anybody else.
Right.
Because ultimately, the reason why that person was in my life or they had the opportunity was because I let them.
I gave it to you.
And so that's the reason why when you were talking earlier about, well, you can't cut family off. I tell you what, the first people
I never
cut
said
off,
that.
I was questioning it. It was me.
that was you.
It was
Yeah.
me.
Okay, I just want to tell you that you were
Kristen
wrong.
speak for herself on that one. You know,
Well, I have, but I was questioning it.
No, I believe. Look, the problem a lot of times I think that family thinks that they get a second chance.
I feel like I get... Anyways, yes.
Oh yeah, we'll talk offline.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, nobody gets a
Right.
second chance. You do me wrong once. I don't care if you bore me. I don't care if you were there when I was 3. You're not there now.
right.
I respect it.
Yeah. That's life, man.
That is like...
Y'all might as well go ahead and call me George Bush. You know what I'm saying? Fool me once, shame on you.
Fool me
Get
twice.
fooled once, can't get fooled again. Like, don't call me George Bush. This bad
'Cause
boy.
I can't remember the second part.
Who?
Oh, yeah.
I liked it better that way. I was like, yeah. All right. Well, I think we have covered quite a bit, right? And let me go ahead and flip it back over this way. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have got the chance to talk to 2 very intelligent people who have given us a bunch of things to think about, from growth and development to just a bit of soul searching. Take some time, think about it. All right, y'all, and I'm out.